Happy Sunday evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of New Podcast Plus. We've got an all-star lineup this week. We've got Kevin Alvarez
Hello.
and Aiden Simmons.
Hello, I'm back.
Yes, all-stars. And we got me, your host, Omar Banat. This is, of course, New Podcast Plus. We are Culture of Gaming's Nintendo podcast. And Kevin, what do you do here at Culture of Gaming?
I am a writer for Culture of Gaming. I do reviews, video game reviews, comic book reviews, and I'm going to cover an event soon, Long Beach Comic Con. I think I'm going to cover next week. Yeah.
Awesome.
1 second.
All right.
I'm so confused.
Aiden,
That's our other writer, Aiden. Let's get...
I told you.
And you know, he's an all-star.
What?
Tell him he's an all-star, and then suddenly he just thinks he can do whatever he wants. Can you believe that?
What?
Aiden, what do you do here?
Yes. I do I write to review. I do a lot of reviews. Reviewing one right now for a game for the Switch. So, yay. But that's that's my priority at the moment. Probably should be up within sometime this week.
Can't wait to read it. All right. So, besides this podcast here, and then obviously cultureofgaming.com website, we have our social media pages: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. So Facebook and Twitter, you can find us at cog.net, and then YouTube and Twitch are just both Culture of Gaming. Finally reached that 100 plus subscriber limit on YouTube, so one of these days, we'll keep mentioning it until we actually get the customizable URL. Maybe it already is like that.
No, yeah, we got it. We got the custom URL now.
I know we got
I think we
to
did.
that point, but I'm not sure if it actually changed. But either way, one of these days, it'll be there. You can still find us, of course, by just searching Culture of Gaming as well.
Yeah, we don't have it quite yet, but we do have over 100 subscribers, so good for that.
Woo! I mean, someone's gonna win a free video game, but who knows? We'll see.
Yay, free game.
Free games are great.
Mhm.
All right, and now it's time for some Nintendo news. Starting out with some little bits here. Both of these first two are from Nintendo themselves. So on the 13th, I believe that's Wednesday next week, we're going to have Super Mario Bros. 2 and Kirby's Adventure coming to NES Online. And then, I'm going to mess this up, but Tsupari Ozumo, which is
That sounds about right.
literal
Also
translation is bumping sumo, is coming to
Bumpo
Famicom
Sumo.
Online. But yeah, so it's like a fighting game except just with sumos on the Famicom, so that'll be fun to try out. And that's kind of the nice thing with the Switch being region free, is that we can play
Yes.
those Famicom games that never came to the US.
So what you're telling me is that game is filled with just color swaps of E-Honda.
You know, I've watched a little bit of gameplay, but I think they pretty much all just look the same. Actually, all characters, but hey, it's a sumo game.
Yeah.
It's,
Back then, I feel like a lot of games were just palette swaps, intentionally or
Right.
not.
right, and then the next little story was Fire Emblem Heroes. That's the Fire Emblem mobile game. It's coming up on its 2nd anniversary, and to tie in with that, they'll have 2 free summons of all the special 5-star units, all the different holiday, Christmas, Easter, Halloween, all those special units. You'll be able to get 2 out of those for free. I've already done both of them though, so
Nice.
that's all passed for me.
Fire Emblem Heroes keep going strong with everyone with their waifus and their husbandos.
I actually get to play it.
Yeah, I pretty much just play it for like collecting the units, but It's kind of nice to be able to get your Fire Emblem fix here and there.
Like maybe that's it.
Right.
I've never played a Fire Emblem game.
Still a few months.
Sacrilege, but
Hey.
I have it on my phone, but just never played it.
Yeah, you have some time until March to get ready for the next Fire Emblem
Oh,
game. Cause
oh
you're
yeah,
gonna
it comes
get
out
that
in
one.
March. Wow,
You better.
I will.
Yeah, the past ones have been pretty decent for the 3DS, and it's the
Yeah.
first time in over a decade that there'll be one coming to a home console, so that's pretty exciting. But yeah, so some of the bigger news pieces I wanted to take a look at here this week. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so this comes from Ryan Craddock at Nintendo Life. Apparently, there was a UK retailer called Base.com that accidentally, potentially leaked some Switch game release dates. There are 3 of the bigger games that were planned for 2019 in Daemon X Machina, Luigi's Mansion 3, and Animal Crossing. Each one has their specific date laid out there. Daemon X Machina is May 29th. Luigi's Mansion 3 is July 19th. And Animal Crossing is September 13th. Actually, kind of interesting thing is that I went there this morning to that website because these things have been out for quite a few days already. And for some reason, the listings are still up on their website.
They're still
This Nintendo hasn't gotten word of this yet.
Yeah, either they're just very confident in those dates, or
Yeah.
something's going on. But what do you guys think about these dates? Do you think they seem realistic for when these titles could come out?
I mean, there's nothing to like outside of it not being confirmed by Nintendo. There's nothing really jumping out at me. I mean, they could be placeholder dates, but they seem too like specific to be placeholder dates. You know what I mean? Because generally it's just like random. It's just like the end of the month. I mean, Nintendo's whole thing is usually release one first-party game a month, published game a month. So that's kind of like sounds about right. I'm more like surprised that Animal Crossing isn't more in the summer, like July, June, July, August, that kind of thing. But like, I mean, it is one of their bigger games for 2019, so I kind of can see them pulling it off to the fall. But yeah, I mean, nothing really. If it's, it doesn't really jump out at me like that. This like it doesn't seem suspicious to me.
Yeah,
if this turns
I
out
was
to be
actually
true.
just looking at the dates, and it looks like all of them, with the exception of Daemon X Machina, fall on a Friday, which lines up with Nintendo's typical release schedules.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hopefully what we'll see more of in the next Direct, which is coming
Whenever
up
that happens.
whenever, which we might talk about later. Okay, let's see. Kevin, would you like to take the lead on the next article?
all right. Yeah, let me. Okay, so Joe Scrabbles from IGN is saying that Xbox Live is coming to the Nintendo Switch in some form or capacity, even though they haven't really detailed on what the plans are that the Xbox Live might be doing. But this kind of goes along with what Phil Spencer had said, that he wanted the Xbox brand on every possible device. But I don't think anyone realized that every possible device also meant the Nintendo Switch. So I'll be interested to see what kind of, if this is if this rumor is true and some kind of functionality comes to the Switch via the Xbox Live, it'll be really interesting. Maybe it'll have some kind of integration with Minecraft. But I mean, what do you guys think? I don't think this would mean any kind of Xbox games on Nintendo
No.
Switch, right?
No, I wouldn't think so.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the thing is all but confirmed, because I think it was like on their GDC presentation, like that's how it was discovered. So like, I mean, it just pretty much means they're going to announce it. It's kind of wild because you can just, I think by what I understand, it means you can like kind of just like, one of the examples, you can just earn achievements by playing games on your Switch, which is just wild. I mean, Nintendo doesn't really have any achievement system, so why not just why not just take Xboxes and Microsofts? I mean, they
That's true.
they know their stuff about infrastructure and internet, so like why not team up with them? And it's just weird because it means they've had this conversation. Nintendo, like, I don't know what Nintendo really gets out of this, but it's just weird that it opens up a conversation. Like, there's obviously a long conversation to happen with this, but like, what else could this lead to?
Right.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I hope it could lead to is the xCloud on Switch, that streaming service that Microsoft is planning. Just because obviously you're not going to get the Xbox Store on the Switch where you can just download games, because there are so many that you wouldn't even be able to run on Switch. So the only feasible option would be streaming.
Yeah, because there is no available streaming platform on the Switch. There is no ways for you to stream your Switch unless you have a capture card and have it hooked up to a TV or a monitor at this point.
Yeah, there's I know in Japan they had Resident Evil 7 and I believe Assassin's Creed Odyssey that you could purchase. I know that Resident Evil 7, they had this weird thing set up where it was like $20 and then you get access to it for 6 months or something like that. But
yeah, I don't know the whole thing about. I don't know the whole specifics. But yeah, that's
bizarre. But
it's weird. You could just essentially stream it.
Supposedly, it didn't run too poorly if you're in Japan. But
I was gonna say, theoretically, you could stream it from the United States, but that probably wouldn't be very good.
Yeah, but Japan has like really good infrastructure when it comes to their fiber optic internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then especially since it's a much smaller country physically, it's just less distance for the data to travel.
What do you guys think of, what if they brought some kind of like game DVR to the Switch, or even like the Mixer service?
I was gonna say, I think like what this could lead to is like some kind of Mixer integration, because obviously Mixer is owned by Microsoft, so like they have their thing. But like, why not? I could see that happening. Like, I mean, similar to like how Twitch is on PS4 and Xbox, and that's like, I feel like that is like the next logical step
for sure
in this relationship, because I mean, Nintendo like kind of loosened their whole stance on streaming, so it kind of like would all could kind of add up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, sorry. Being able to stream directly from Switch would be great, because right now the only option is that record button where you can take a single screenshot or record like the last 10 seconds of whatever game you were playing, and it doesn't even work in every single game. There are so many where it actually doesn't, and most of the games where you can do video recordings are Nintendo exclusive, and Smash Bros. You can't even do it because they have the match recording built in, and then you can't even record all the matches that you play. You can only record certain matches in certain game modes, and yeah, that would be a very welcome addition.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Sorry.
Oh, well, I was gonna say you can go first, because like I feel like mine's like kind of like not really. It's kind of only somewhat related to all this.
I was saying that I would like to have Mixer on the Switch, at least some kind of video streaming service on it, because let's be honest, like Nintendo's online structure, even for just Smash Bros. Matchmaking, is terrible, and I wouldn't trust them with their own video streaming service, to be honest.
No,
they'll probably make you like NintendoVideo.com or something, and it'll be just terrible. Why not just partner up with Xbox and have something that's already been somewhat well established already?
Oh yeah, of the big game players, Microsoft is like the one that knows their stuff the most about internet infrastructure. So like, why not just like team up with them? Because like you said, Nintendo really doesn't know what they're doing at this moment in terms of online services.
Yeah, if you can hire someone who has more experience and it costs less than doing it yourself, then why not?
Yeah.
This like, do you think this leads like gives any validation to those wild like rumors from Smash about like Banjo or like Minecraft Steve? Because obviously they're having these conversations. Like, I mean, obviously, Microsoft and Nintendo had this relationship with the whole crossplay and everything, but this is just the next. This is just kind of like even more of like integrating Xbox on Nintendo Switch. So I feel like that barrier is just like essentially just shit like gone.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty much starting with Minecraft on the Switch having the ability to unlock Xbox achievements in that game on the Switch version is like, okay, well, the writing was on the wall. They're already breaking in together that way.
Yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah, I forgot that you needed Xbox Live account to do that and to do anyway. So like, yeah, we should have seen this coming.
And Microsoft and Nintendo have never been really in direct competition. I find more Sony and Nintendo to be competitors more so than Nintendo and Xbox. And we all know that in the 360 era, Xbox couldn't penetrate the Japanese market. Maybe this will be a second way that they could get people subscribed in Japan to come enjoy the Xbox brand. It could be it could lead them into that in that road.
Yeah, I think at this point Xbox is just like they've given up. Like not given up, but they're just like resigned to the fact that they're not going to make a mark in Japan at all. So just why not buddy up with Nintendo, who is legendary there? That makes sense. Like I still don't see what Nintendo gets from this besides like I guess having infrastructure, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. You heard it here. You heard it here at the new podcast, folks. Blue Dragon 2 confirmed.
All right. Okay, so Aiden, go ahead, take the lead.
This is, I don't really know what to make of this. This is from Chris Carter at Destructoid, because I just can speak. So Nintendo pretty much asked its fans, because like, why not? It's a good way to engage with their fans on the internet. That's the thing. Who do you want to give a Valentine to? And like, just Waluigi won by a very, very wide margin. Like it was just weird. It had like, for context, it was Mario, Peach, Luigi, Yoshi, Pikachu, Wario, Waluigi, Isabelle, Link, Zelda, Kirby, and that weird Yokai Watch cat thing. Which sure. And let me see if I can get this right. It's 1,479 votes for Waluigi. Second place was Isabelle with 110. So
that makes sense.
That was a clear victory. I get it. Like Waluigi is a popular character. I mean, we all saw by the whole get Waluigi in Smash, like hot mess that was, but. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of Waluigi, so I'm just like, why is everyone doing all this for him?
I think for me, it was a meme push.
I think so. I think Nintendo knew what they were doing when they put him in there.
Yeah.
One of these days he'll show up in Smash as a non-assist trophy.
At this point, I don't want him to, because I don't want to give those, like, I mean, I don't want to, like, say, like, because there are people who genuinely want him in there, but all the people who are, like, mean to Sakurai, I don't want them to be validated.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a fair point. He works hard, and people just are like, put this character in the game.
Yeah. When are we going to get a Waluigi game?
One of these days it'll be a dating sim or
I hope so.
And have you been pushing for that, a dating sim?
Yeah, there was someone, I can't remember.
There's been weirder dating sims, so it wouldn't be that weird.
Yeah.
There was actually though someone who used to work at IGN was like that's their dream game, was a Waluigi dating sim or visual novel.
So would he like?
I think it was either Miranda Sanchez or Christine Schneider. I think I forgot what her name is.
Would you like date different? So would he date different Mario characters, or just going to open up the whole wide Nintendo verse, or would it just be like actual people?
I don't know. That'll be. I don't remember the exact details, but
I know. I mean, we can come up with our own dating sim too right now.
Yeah. I mean,
he is apparently a lady. Well, he's apparently not just a ladies' man. He's an everyone man, because everyone wants to give him a Valentine.
Absolutely. I'm surprised Kirby was pretty high on there, but
I mean, he's so lovable.
yeah,
Yep.
I mean, he is Valentine's Day. He's all pink.
it's precious. All right.
I mean,
And finally, our last news piece of the week. Are you ready?
I guess.
It's so
Give it to us.
exciting. Not really, though, because it's just a rumor. But apparently, there's going to be a Nintendo Direct coming up next week on Wednesday, the 13th. And it may include some news about Metroid Prime Trilogy. Not 4, sadly.
I mean, we all know what happened there.
Yeah, exactly.
There's probably not a lot to talk about right now.
But there's also supposedly going to be a reveal of Mario Maker 2, which would be much more exciting.
Yes. Than the Metroid Prime trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I already have it on Wii U. Come on.
Well, I don't, so.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, really, both of them would be fantastic announcements. They also kind of just glossed over. There's the rumors about Pikmin 3 being ported to Switch, a new 2D Zelda, and then the first reveal of 8th generation of Pokemon. So, what do you think? All of these? Do you think some of these are going to happen? Which do you think seem the most realistic?
Okay, the one thing that's the one thing that's giving me pause is the Pokemon reveal, because we all know how the Pokemon company operates. Like, they like to have the focus on themselves. Like, I mean, because technically Pokemon isn't, like, it is Nintendo, but it's not, like, technically Nintendo. So, like, they like to do their own thing, and they just like to have the spotlight for themselves.
Sure.
Yeah, I can see them having their own Direct, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sun and Moon got that revealed in around this time, whatever, in 2017. So I could see it. And since, like, it's not a remake, it's a whole new game, so I could see them, like, start to ramp up that hype. I mean, everything else makes sense. I mean, Metroid Prime Trilogy, that's been, like, rumored for forever. And I feel like they kind of need it now, since we're not going to get Metroid Prime 4 for a while.
Yeah, something to tide over the fans.
Yeah, and
I
mean,
was
Mario
gonna
Maker
say,
2.
one of the editors of Game Informer even tweeted that he had information that the game has been done for a while and that it was supposed to be announced in December. But I mean,
there was rumors about the Game Awards that they were just going to announce it there, but that turned out not to happen. I mean,
of course,
probably they were sitting on it because they wanted to probably wait till they got, because I mean, obviously the whole Metroid Prime 4 thing has been in the works. That's been old for a while. So I'm sure they maybe want to hold it. Like, Mario Maker 2 would be cool. Do you think they would do, like, other visual styles for that?
I would hope so. You know, I don't really see what else they would add. Maybe Mario Bros. 2. I'm not sure how well that would translate, but it pretty much already covered all of the visual styles, I think, in the first one. But
they haven't covered the 3D styles. I mean, what if you could make a 3D
3D Mario Maker?
Exactly. Make your own Captain Toad levels.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Or I think Paper Mario would be real cool too.
That'd be cool.
Because they've already had that side scrolling.
They got to add slopes though to this one, because that was the big thing that people were freaking out about. It's like, there are no slopes. But I mean, it's a legitimate complaint, but
it's kind of hard. It'd probably be kind of hard to program that.
The funny thing was, though, in the Mario Maker stage and in Smash Bros, there are slopes in that stage, so people are like, no, it's not realistic. But yeah, I think out of all of these, oddly enough, the new 2D Zelda is the one that interests me the most.
Yeah.
Just because, is it 3DS? Is it Switch? What is it going to look like? If it is on Switch, is it top-down? Is it side-scrolling?
No, they would never.
Zelda
they would
2
never.
remake on Switch?
I mean, they just put it on the
this
Switch.
time.
I think the 3DS is like, I mean, it's still alive, but I think they're done with the 3DS in terms of games.
Yeah, plus they've gotten several games for Zelda on the 3DS already.
Yeah.
Like several. And they had Link Between Worlds. They had the hybrid one. I'm sorry, I forgot Triforce Heroes.
Yeah,
They
Triforce
had
Heroes.
Ocarina of Time, and they also had
Majora's Mask.
there you go.
Okay.
So you already have 4 Zelda games on the 3DS already. I think it's time for another, Zelda 2D game on.
Yeah.
So let's say
Yeah.
they go the Link Between Worlds path and go with a sort of sequel to a previous 2D Zelda. Which one would you want to see get a sequel?
I would love to see the Minish Cap because I thought that was really cool how they had this whole. I mean, the Zelda games always do this dual world thing, but having like going back to the whole like shrinking concept, like the whole world that's like just microscopic is real cool. I don't know if I mean, I don't know what I was gonna say, but yeah, I think that I would love to see them kind of revisit that kind of concept since they really haven't gone back to it in a while. So that's my pick.
Okay.
Well, Aiden, I love where your head is at because Minish Cap was co-developed with Capcom. I would also
yeah.
love to see a sequel to the original Oracle of Ages and Time series when they did the Game Boy Color. I'm a big fan of that series, and I always love the concept of changing the world around you using either the seasons or time travel. I always thought it was really interesting. Obviously, we did that in Ocarina of Time, but we could still do I don't know, some kind of continuation of that storyline.
Yeah, I forgot they just like handed Zelda off to Capcom for a little bit,
and we got 3 great games out of it.
Yeah,
better than Philips could do.
Oh, well, weren't those side scrolling?
No, I never played them, but yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I've never played them too.
Like adventure clicky games, if I remember. I don't know. I've never seen them.
It's just the art in them just looked bizarre.
They're real bad.
Like real bad Dragon Warrior games.
That's probably why Nintendo stopped giving Zelda to third parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. I already said Zelda 2, but I also think Link's Awakening, either remade or a sequel to it, could be interesting.
God, I love Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening is probably my favorite Zelda, so I would love to see them do something like that.
Yeah, I kind of think it would be cool though if they went with that Zelda 2 style and made it just like a sequel, or maybe even just like a completely new game not related to Zelda 2, but made it like a Metroidvania. With Link.
I feel like I would love that, but I feel like Nintendo, like, just since that game is already so like polarizing, I feel like Nintendo doesn't want to like. Nintendo is known for experimenting, but not like going off the deep end with their titles. So I feel like that was just a weird blip in Zelda's history that we won't see repeated.
I feel like Breath of the Wild was kind of like you were saying off the deep end.
It was, but like the essence of the Zelda was still there. So, where like Zelda 2, the NES was weird, where they just kind of like the second games in each series just kind of like threw everything out the window and just started from scratch.
I mean, I kind of do like the fact that Breath of the Wild and A Link Between Worlds kind of threw out that formula of needing specific items to continue the game. Like both of those games, they allowed a lot of freedom in what you could do and where you can go. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like they can never go back to that because people are going to blame them for being too structured. I'm not sure, but I can still see them going back to it, but I just love the fact that you can now, explore in whichever direction you want to go now, both in the 2D versions and the 3D versions.
Part of me does. I get that, but part of me kind of wants them to go back to a more structured game. I think a 2D Zelda would be a good opportunity to do that because I do like these crafted dungeons that are like, I know Link Between Worlds had them, but like these dungeons that are like built around a specific tool. So like you have to use a tool to solve the puzzle, which Breath of the Wild didn't have dungeons. But also, like, I kind of like to see them. I would like to see that style Zelda brought back, like with these dungeons specifically made for a specific item you get at a certain point in your journey. And I think a 2D Zelda would be the perfect way to do that, especially in between whatever the next big 3D Zelda game is going to be.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I want to ask you guys a question. Okay, so we know that this rumor's coming out for this coming week that we're going to see a Nintendo Direct. Do you think they waited this long in order to give themselves, a little bit of leeway between the last announcement of Metroid Prime 4 not having to restart development?
I'm sorry, what was the question? I think it cut out.
Oh, I was saying, do you think they intentionally waited this long for if a Nintendo Direct does come out? Do you think they intentionally waited this long because of the Metro Prime 4 announcement?
Yeah, that would definitely make sense, just because, well, they weren't planning on showing us anything for Metroid Prime 4, and this trilogy was kind of supposed to be something to hold us over until 4, and since it was probably planned to come out maybe earlier, mid 2019, and then maybe Metroid Prime 4 at the end of the year, but then didn't quite work out that way.
No.
Yeah, because that's not something you really want to put in a direct. You're gonna be like, hey, all these new games, and then sorry, we're cutting this game, not cutting, but I mean, obviously, like I said, this is something I don't know when they made the decision, but it's not like they made the decision like when they made the announcement. This has been something that's been like who knows how long, but
no, they made the decision that day, and they're like, Retro, you're doing it now.
I mean, that's a conversation in itself, but I mean, I can imagine that because I don't know, it is weird because this is like I feel like this is the first time since the Switch launched that we really have no idea what Nintendo's calendar is like. Like we know these games are coming, but we don't know when.
Right.
So I would like to. I mean, besides like Yoshi, and I think Fire Emblem has a date. Could be wrong, but I just like. I mean, I feel like they kind of have to come out at some point. They have to come out soon and give these games dates, so we know what what their year's going to be like.
I'm sure they'll have a lot of dates at E3, but there's still a lot of stuff that's coming out
before then.
To E3 or before then,
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see what comes.
Nintendo just does what they want.
Kind of seems like for the last month, there's been a rumor that next week there will be a Nintendo Direct. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, do you have another thing?
No, I was just agreeing with you guys that I don't think they would announce a Pokemon Gen 8, in this Direct. Maybe a tease, but kind of like what Ethan said, I think they will have their own, the Nintendo Direct to address the next Pokemon game franchise.
Yeah,
because Pokemon's never really been a part of. They never have Pokemon as part of the general Nintendo Directs, so I don't see especially with a game like that's as anticipated as this, I just don't see them just lumping it in. Like I said, Pokemon Company does their own thing.
Usually when they show something in a Direct, and just like a regular Nintendo Direct, it's just like a reminder. It's like, all right, this game's coming out soon. They never make any big announcements in the regular Nintendo Directs. They'll probably do something like the day before or day after Nintendo Direct even. Because we do what we want, so this is
gotta look out for those.
Yeah,
gotta look out for those copyright trademarks, since it usually happens the day after.
Yeah.
All right, that's all the news that we have for this week. So now I'll head into the games that are coming out next week. I'll just list them off as quickly as I can here. All right, so Tuesday, we've got Minesweeper Genius, The Kingsbird, The Liar Princess, and The Blind Prince. Oh boy.
That looks awesome. I've seen gameplay trailers of that.
Awesome. Wednesday, it's a little smaller list. It's Iron Cryptical, and then we've got Kirby's Adventure, Super Mario Bros. 2, and Bumping Sumo coming to the NES and Famicom Online. Thursday, the 14th, we've got Alvestia Chronicles. Okay, Astrology and Horoscopes Premium. I want to know if that's an actual
What is that?
Does it just give you your horoscope? Is that it?
I think so. Start up every day, and then it communicates with their server, and it's like, here is your horoscope.
The fact that it's premium, it gives the impression that you have to pay for this.
I would hope so.
Wild.
People work on this stuff.
Yes. But
all right, we've got a lot on Thursday. Oh boy, Cinders, Guess the World, Hexamaze.
Isn't it? Wait, is it Guess the Word or Guess the World or Guess the Word?
Guess the Word. You're right.
That's very different.
Hexamaze, Love, Love Hero. By the way, this is on Valentine's Day, so you got to get those
Oh.
love games out then.
Dating sims?
Actually, we have a waifu game coming up. Modern Combat Blackout. And here's the waifu game. Negopara Volume 2. Looks like some cat girls there. All right. Ollie Switch Stance. Get that one, guys? Get it? Get it? Switch Stance?
Yes, I get it.
Pet Care. That's the whole name of the game. Wonder what you do. Strikey Sisters. Tokyo School Life. And Toho Sky Arena Matsuri Climax. And that's actually
Before we get to Friday,
yes.
Did you guys, because Pet Kid, did you guys play the Pets games like PETZ?
No.
You know those games? Oh.
I've heard of them, never played them though.
Okay, well then those are great games. That's all. I hope it's like that. I think
Is
Ubisoft
that
made
like,
them.
are they like Nintendogs at all, or
Kind of. I'm looking it up right now.
I can't remember the Pets toy brand.
So there's Dog. I mean, I think it's essentially them Ubisoft trying to cash in on the Nintendogs hype.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I've seen that before. Actually, now you mention it.
That's all.
Omar, before you get to Friday, also, come on, look at the name of this game on Thursday: Modern Combat Blackout. They are so trying to cash in. Come on, guys! Like,
totally not trying to rip off Call of Duty Blackout.
That's funny.
Yeah, good stuff. And then Friday the 15th, we've got spooky Friday the 15th. We've got DreamWorks Dragons Dawn of New Riders.
Okay.
They're still learning how to train their dragons, apparently.
The movie comes on the 22nd, so I'm assuming this is a tie-in to that.
Oh, it makes sense.
It kind of because I covered this game at other places. It's like in the universe, but it's also like a side story. Like you play as a different duo. Like the characters show up, but you have to play as this other dragon and rider duo, and you have to stop this evil lady from, I think, controlling the dinosaurs. Not the dinosaurs, the dragons.
Right.
How to Train Your Dinosaur.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be a movie. But also, that game needs a colon somewhere in its title.
Yeah.
It's really bothering me.
Yeah. And the last game of the week, Friday the 15th, is Spacelift Danger Panic.
Okay.
Check it out.
Sounds stressful.
There's an exclamation point in the title. That's how you know it's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, and then the top 20 games in the Switch eShop for the past week were Wargroove, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Overcooked 2, Stardew Valley, Robonauts, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Minecraft, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Party, Diablo 3 Eternal Collection, Downwell, Rocket League Hollow Knight, Void Space Racing, Human Fall Flat, Dragon March for Death, Frontline Fighters, 9 Parchments, Jumping Joe and Friends, and number 20, Super Mario Odyssey.
Well, I'm kind of glad that Dragon Mark for Death made it on the list. It's not a game I'm going to pick up, but it's very clearly reminiscent of the Mega Man Zero franchise, especially the way that the characters are drawn. They look like characters that could come from that series. Okay. But from what I read from Steven Totillo's article on Kotaku, it is not a single-player friendly game. You need a full team of 4 in order to play it.
Interesting. But it still plays like Mega Man X?
It's kind of like a little hybrid of a combo system based on Mega Man Zero's like mechanics mixed with RPG elements. Like you have your tanks, you have your mages, and you kind of do the combos in that way.
Do you know if
and you level up, you have talent trees. Yes, there is online. It's an online and ad hoc game. Like if you look at the trailer, look at the gameplay, it's very reminiscent of that art style of Mega Man Zero, and almost the same pixel sprite work also. And I think it's the same company that made the Gunvolt game. If I remember the name of it.
That makes sense, okay. Yeah, that was very similar to Mega Man as well.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Super Mario Odyssey is so down on the list, to be honest. Like for it to be at 20th.
It's been a year and a half. Like I'm sure like most people who have a Switch at this point have gotten it. And we're also at the point like where people are buying Switches for games besides Mario Odyssey.
I feel like
So-
it's one of those games that probably jumps up the list around holiday time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's still there.
I'm really happy to see Wargroove on the top. Like, I mean, as someone who really doesn't like connect with strategy games, like, I mean, I played Advance Wars as a kid, but I really got into them. But I mean, it's kind of amazing to see this Wargroove like take down Super Smash Brothers and Super Mario Brothers at the top. So like, that's pretty awesome to see like a little, not little, but like this indie game kind of take out these massive Nintendo first party games.
Mm-hmm. And if there's a sign at all that people, Switch owners, are ready for a new Animal Crossing game, it's Stardew Valley at number 5.
Yes.
Or even a new Advance Wars at this point too. But too bad
that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, they're stuck on Fire Emblem cycle forever.
Supposedly, they, I can't remember their name right now. 'Cause they're always referred to ISIS as a joke online, but
oh my god,
Intelligent Systems. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, where are we going with this?
But no, supposedly at one point they were saying that they're working on planning the next Advance Wars game, but I'm sure it's like everything else with Nintendo, where they're like, well, we're always trying to figure out what we can do next with an IP, but then we can't do anything with it until some new idea for the series comes around. But
so you said they're working on planning the next event. Is that like what they said?
I think it was something like that.
So basically, this game does this. They're just like, it's not even a thought.
But this was like even 2 years ago when I read this.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Nintendo, like, I mean, they really like to have like of each genre essentially. Like they get like one franchise take up this genre, and I feel like once Fire Emblem really took off, they're kind of like, well, guess this is our strategy series
/ dating sim / dating sim.
So that's why we don't need the Waluigi dating sim.
Yes, you just be in the next Fire Emblem game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. So how many of you, you two, I guess, owned a Wii U? Either?
No.
I had one.
Oh man.
You had one.
Oh, you did? Okay, you did. Awesome.
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, yeah, obviously there are a ton of Wii U ports coming to Switch all the time. Every second of every day, almost. Actually, the best-selling Switch game right now is a Wii U port in Mario Kart Deluxe.
Yes.
The second big release after Breath of the Wild on the Switch was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So yeah, the Wii U port.
I mean, Breath of the Wild was a Wii U port too, so
sorta.
It was made for the Wii U.
Yeah, maybe.
I
feel like the whole time they were just like, all right, let's keep delaying it until the next console can come out. We don't have to release this on Wii U only.
I feel like at this point we just have to expect every generation, every Nintendo console to end and begin with a Zelda game.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Like a Zelda game, like, is at the end of one console, but also at the beginning of the next one.
It was Peer Schneider on IGN. For a while he was saying that just a random Kirby game was always the last letter for any Nintendo console, but so far that hasn't been true for 3DS and Switch.
Is
the
Switch over?
New Kirby games.
Is the Switch done then?
The Switch is dead in its launch year.
Oh no.
But yeah, the first big game of this year was another Wii U port in New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe.
Right.
And it's kind of nice because they help fill in the gaps and expose more Wii U games to people who never bought them.
Which is a big portion of the audience.
Because I had great games. Like, I mean, I never had one, but like I had access to one, and like there are a lot of great games on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many Wii U ports have you picked up on your Switch so far?
I haven't. The only one I own is Mario Kart 8, but I have played Captain Toad, I played Donkey Kong and what's that other one? It's coming to Bayonetta.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, like I haven't bought them, but I've played them on the Switch.
Nice. Yeah, Kevin, how many have you bought twice?
Just Mario Kart, to be honest, because
Smart.
I'm not gonna buy all these games again. I still have my Switch right there. I still have all the games. If I want to play them, I'll just plug it back in. But the one I wanted for sure was Mario Kart because I could play that on the go with other people.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I actually, with my Wii U, I ended up keeping console, but I sold like a ton of the first party games that ended up getting ports, luckily. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
lucky there. But yeah, I picked them up twice and enjoyed them again on Switch. So, the whole point of this is fun little game. I just told everyone to pick out 2 Wii U games that you want ported most to Switch. Can be anything that hasn't come out yet on Wii U, and I guess I should have specified maybe Wii U exclusive, but hey, it's too late for that.
Oh.
So let's go. Let's see what you guys
Oh
pick.
no.
Go ahead, Kevin.
All right, my 2 games. Well, I know it's Wii U exclusive, but I do have one though. Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Come on, give it to us, you cowards. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was kind of like that Persona-ish game that came out on the Wii U, made by those same creators. But it was more about like pop idol.
Yeah.
Had the same battle system,
Mhm.
and it was a crossover with Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah.
and that's what created like the Persona part of it.
Yeah.
So I would love that to come to the Switch. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people who love that series, or at least that game, would love to see it on the Switch. Another Wii U game, I guess Twilight Princess, because I didn't get to finish it on the Wii U.
Okay.
But my other pick, other than that one, was Borderlands. Borderlands had a bad experience with the being
was
ported
the
to the
Wii.
Vita. No, I was just saying, like I thought this is in general what ports would you want to see on the Switch.
Sure.
That was my initial pick, was to see Borderlands come over to the Switch.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, Aiden.
Okay.
What do you
So, first one, because I didn't, like I said, I wasn't entirely clear that it was exclusive, but I'll put it. I'm going to say anyway. Wind Waker HD should be
Right.
brought to the Switch because I mean, that's like one of the best Zelda games ever made, and like it's one of the most popular. And I feel like it's a good stopgap. Even if this 2D Zelda does end up real, I mean, it's a good way to have a new, nice 3D Zelda game on the Switch. And second one is Super Mario 3D World, which I
Right.
think is like I feel like is going to happen at any point because we already have. I mean, I feel like I don't know. I know it's kind of 2 very different games, but having new Super Mario Brothers U on the Switch already made kind of like they don't want to make like release them too close together probably, but I mean I can see it happening because I mean it's a fantastic game, and it's quite maybe not the best 3D Mario, but it is one of the best 3D Mario games. So I just think that game needs to be given a wider audience and a bigger platform.
Absolutely.
Right. Would you want to see it just ported over? Or would you want new content in there as well?
I mean, ideally, new content would be great, whether it be like a new world or a new character, like they did with New Super Mario Brothers. But I mean, the game is so good on its own; it doesn't need it. But I mean, every other Wii U port has seen new content, and I guess they kind of like justifies porting it over. So I was like I said, maybe a new character. Who that would be? I don't know. Just put Toadette in there because she should be in everything. She can do this and like just bring Peachette back. So I wouldn't be for me, new content isn't a must, but I mean, it would be nice to see.
Well, you got to have something in there to make the excuse that it's deluxe.
Right.
You got to give a reason to spend $60 on it again.
Yeah. What a great $120 game it's been.
I mean, on me, it's only $60, so.
Yeah, I guess. So yeah, the 2 that I went with, Super Mario 3D World and Metroid Prime Trilogy. The second one, it looks like we might get it, maybe.
Right. Maybe.
Probably, at some point. There was.
Wait, you don't want other M?
Yeah. Oh my god. I actually do have that game, and I played it for a little bit, but just
I'll
kind
be
of
honest, I never played it, but just the fact that everyone rips on it, I'm like, man, I'm so curious. But there's no good way to play it again, or a viable way to play it in today's age.
Yeah.
Because you would need a GameCube, you need to find a disc.
Mhm.
I never bought a GameCube. I got into Nintendo.
It's a
No,
Wii game.
actually, it's on Wii. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Wii game.
Oh, it's a Wii game. Oh, I didn't get a Wii either.
Well, you can play it on the Wii U.
Yep.
That is true.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I gotta find a copy.
So there's no excuse now.
Time
All
to
right,
look
all
up
right.
other. They probably
It's
have
a
it at
Wii-
GameStop in the bargain bin.
Other M is such a weird game just as a concept. Like it's just Team Ninja's making a Metroid game.
Yeah, it's like 2.5D, 3D, 4D, third person.
I know, it just randomly goes first
Fourth
person.
4-dimensional? No.
The baby.
All right. So there's one thing that I didn't throw in the notes intentionally.
Oh, no.
I wanted to be kind of mean, but I didn't want to be completely mean. I was thinking, so we look at the two games you picked, and then we say, okay, one for sure is coming out. The other will never get a title in that series on Switch. But then I was like, oh well, Mario already happened, so maybe we shouldn't do that. So I figured let's just keep it with that game will be stuck on its original console forever, and it will never come to Switch. And if you want to be extra mean, we could even say that there won't be another game in that series for another 10 years, which, I mean, in Kevin's case, that's probably true with Borderlands, but just with the case of their studio right now, it's kind of in turmoil, but
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
That's a kind of a messy situation.
we don't need to get into it this week.
No, that's not Nintendo related technically.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Not yet.
Well,
No.
I guess my decision would be easy. Give me Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I can leave Twilight Princess at the door.
All right.
Yeah, it already had two shots. It was already on two. It already got two.
So that means no more Zelda for 10 years.
Wait, I thought we weren't doing that.
We could say that. Let's just add that
I
on
mean-
to be extra mean.
Well, we can. I mean, who knows? Game development's long.
That's true.
So,
So, Aiden?
me. Well, I reject your 10-year.
Who are you
thing.
killing? Who are you
And then-
dooming to eternity? Which
No,
is
it's just not
games?
gonna be. It's just not gonna be this specific game. That's how I choose to interpret this.
Okay.
And I will say, I feel like Super Mario 3D World should be on the Switch because that game never really got a shot. Like, I mean, obviously it was critically, like, got great reviews, and, like, I'm sure it sold well enough, but it didn't really get its shot, so I feel like that game should get more, and, like, Wind Waker already has his legacy and reception, and has already been on a couple systems, so just that's my picks.
All right, so with Aiden's pick and my picks, that means no Zelda for 20 years if we just stack them on top of each
No,
other.
you see, like I said, I chose to reject this rule, so it doesn't, not gonna happen.
That's going to be the best Zelda game when it comes out 20 years from now.
Oh,
I'm
God.
going to have so much time to work on it. All right, so I would go with Metroid Prime trilogy, because if we're going with that 10-year rule, because I want Metroid Prime 4 to come out before 2029. That would be nice.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see.
And I feel like we can go 10 years without more Mario.
That's plenty of Mario.
Yeah.
That's like
No.
lots of Mario.
Unless
One more. One of the
unless it
Switches
can be the best Mario game ever created, which
it could be.
it could be, but
Some say Odyssey is.
yeah. I've never played 64 extensively, so
Wow.
I definitely have to say that Odyssey is my favorite 3D Mario, but
64 is good, but aged.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's really like no like definitive way to play it, because the 64. I mean, it probably 64 because it just looks rough, but the DS version's like it's just pretty much don't play a 3D game with a D-pad.
And I liked Galaxy and Galaxy 2, but they
I love
were
Galaxy.
too linear. And
What's wrong with linear?
I just like to be able to. I like the freedom of Odyssey, just being able to go around and do whatever we want, and not even have to have a goal in mind. You can just mess around
That's
with
fair.
the physics and fun stuff. But yeah, that's all we have for this week.
Wait, I wanted to ask a question.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least for you, Omar. Did you guys cover THQ bringing not God of War? What's it called?
Yeah, Darksiders.
Darksiders. There you go. Sorry, I forgot for a second.
Yeah,
Did you guys
we
cover
actually-
that coming to the Switch?
I don't think we mentioned that last week, possibly.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to mention.
Yeah.
We're seeing THQ Nordic bringing their first game to the Switch. Do you think this will bring an onslaught of the ports? Because that's been a big part of their business model, is to port any IP they have to every single device ever.
I'm more confused why it was just Darksiders 1 and not even Darksiders 2, which has been on the Wii U.
Right?
That's like my first question. Because I'm like, I mean, I'm someone who actually like loves the Darksiders games.
Fun.
And so like I loved
me too.
Darksiders 3 despite its like flaws.
I
But
still don't get it, but I love one and two. I haven't
Yeah.
gotten three yet.
I mean, it has its issues, and you can tell it had not a big budget, but like it's still good. But I mean, why not? THQ, like, they like to put games. They just like to put games on everything.
I'm hoping we get Amalur because they recently got that IP, so
Yeah, I
maybe we
forgot
might
about
see
that.
Amalur on the Switch. I don't know. I would love to play that little game on the Switch.
That is like I'm just like I don't want to interject real quick. So that's like a weird thing because technically EA has the rights to the first game, so they have to like
It's so
do,
weird.
like to make a new game, like a remaster of that specific game. They have to be like this weird legal agreement between EA and THQ Nordic. So we may,
Which I think they would do, considering
Yeah.
the position that EA is in right now. I mean, granted that Apex kind of like skyrocketed them back to the
Yeah.
top again, but they're not doing so well. Other
Yeah.
than that,
I think it would just take a little. It would just be more complicated to get a game
Yeah.
to get that game on the Switch.
well, as long as they pay the licensing fees, I'm pretty sure it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, give us money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do
Who
with
knows
all
what
their
kind of
games,
money
so.
I never know if THQ has money or not.
Right? How are they making money?
Like, how can they afford to buy all these games, these
Well,
IP, and like
most of
their
these
games?
are like kind of like second tier, kind of
And
like
they're,
double A IPs.
Double A.
They're dead. Most of them are dead. Let's be
That too.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was just like they don't their games don't really do that great. But I mean, I guess it works for them.
Yeah. Yeah, the big theory, or I should say conspiracy theory that I've concocted is that they're trying to build a Super Smash Brothers with second tier.
Oh my
IPs.
god.
It's just going to be
That's
a
funny.
bunch of random characters that no one's heard of before.
Oh my god,
Yeah, THQ All Stars.
Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got like the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse with that like raccoon from Biomutant.
With the
And then-
guy from the Mars games,
The guy, yeah, and then the guy from Alone
Remastered.
in the Dark.
Amalur Knight.
Time Spinner guy.
John Time Splitter.
John.
It's his full name.
Is it? I wouldn't put it past it. That was what, the 2000s?
Yeah, I've never played any of those games. I just remember always seeing the covers, and it's like this guy with sunglasses and giant guns.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's all.
That's
That's all you need. That's all you needed back then.
90s,
That's
early
all you needed.
2000s video games. Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Kevin and Aiden, for joining us. So, Kevin, where
Yeah,
can
no
people
problem.
find
Happy to
you?
be here. You guys can find me on Twitter at Superior2099, and you can also find my works and all my reviews on cultureofgaming.com.
Awesome. Aiden, where can we find
I mean, obviously, you can find me here on Culture of Gaming. I'm also on Twitter. Sorry, I had like a lapse in a moment there. Twitter at Aiden Simons. That's AIDINSIMONDS because it can be hard to spell. And I'm also on. I have a YouTube channel where I do like a bunch of random videos that I feel suit whatever I feel like doing. So that's just Aiden Simons on YouTube. You'll find it if you search my name.
Mhm.
Yep, that's where you can find me.
You know, actually, maybe besides putting names below the video, it should probably put your Twitters or Twitch accounts up above.
See, we're evolving.
Yeah.
Check out the description down below.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
Read
still
the show
says
notes.
Wii U Ports on Switch. Oops. There you go. Yeah, so you can find me at OPBANAT on Twitter, where I post whatever I feel like and random
Yes.
screenshots from my Switch when I think of something funny. Except not related to Smash Bros, since I can't take screenshots in that game. But that's besides the point. And thank you all watching for joining us along this 1 hour journey of Nintendo fun and games. And we'll hope to see you next week.